All right, let me try this on for size. Time to run through the headlines in today's Smerconish.com newsletter, where balance is delivered daily. Well, TC, what do you have?
Wait, is that what we're doing? Wait, that's different from whatever we were calling it yesterday.
The read-in.
The read-in, which I liked.
Okay, well, that was scripted for me by one Dan Henning.
He's good at this stuff.
Who gave me the alternative of a wide variety of headlines in today's Smerconish.com newsletter, where balance is delivered daily. If you're a subscriber, whoops, sorry, Dan. If you're a subscriber, it's in your inbox. First up, from the conservative-leaning XYZ, listen to this. He began his missive to me. I love the organization and thought that he put into it. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
Quote, call me old school, but I would stick with what you've done for years. Headlines. So to try it one more time, let me just Stanislavski method.
Okay, try it. Put it up on the teleprompter. You
Here
got this.
Time to run through the headlines in today's Smerconish.com newsletter, where balance is delivered daily. TC, what you got?
I like it.
I like it too.
I like it.
One more time.
You're going to do it one more time?
Take 3.
Oh, jeez.
Time to run through the headlines in today's Smerconish.com newsletter, where balance is delivered daily. TC, what you got?
I like it.
Just like that.
I like it. It could be it. When exactly are we deciding this?
Honestly, I'm going to try and make a decision this weekend because it's just become too much. Please, ladies and gentlemen, please, no more suggestions. I think we've seen every possible suggestion known to mankind.
There are more. And
okay, I swear, though, this is the end. I promise. It's a Friday. This is the end. Okay, to quote The Doors, Jim Morrison, this is the end.
Bill Martin says, how about center court? Cool purple logo like on a basketball court with your head holding court.
Already proposed.
Oh.
I saw that on the Facebook page.
How about...
Maybe it was by him.
No, it was by him. These are the ones I pulled from there.
Okay, then
I
it's
know
all right.
You've looked through them.
Yeah, oh my God, yes.
Carl says, how about the Chiron? I think he must hear you make reference to the TV, like the Chiron.
Carl,
I like that.
I like it. It doesn't fit exactly. It's not a description for what we're doing, but I do like it. Yeah, TC, let me just say this. I love the fact that so many of the suggestions, I've neglected to say this, exhibit or evidence a deep knowledge of the program.
Of you.
Yeah, but the program, and I mean, people, it also makes me nervous because I could never get away with anything here. You are listening much too closely for me to ever have, plausible deniability.
Okay, how about Mario would be proud, who says, things you should know before I start talking.
It would be a mouthful.
I know, but isn't that
I would screw it up 3 out of 5
thing?
days. Mario, I would screw it up 3 out of 5 days.
Daniel says the purple cast. A lot of people trying to work purple in because they know you like it.
Me too.
Right.
But maybe I've overdone it. I mean, it's enough that I've got it all around me, but maybe I don't need to actually mention it. I love the branding. I have to say, it's mid-March. We've done some really cool things this year to try and bring it all together. And I'm going to have a meeting with Eric X.
Oh.
Because he's sort of emerged as a guru of giving me counsel as to how to now have even more definition to what goes on here on radio, social media, television. If I had to pay him, I had to pay him, I would be in for either 15 points or $400,000.
Yeah, no, you can't afford him. That's the bottom line.
God, no.
But he's he's a P1 in a big way.
But he's so
part of the
smart.
Show. He's part of the show.
He's so smart. He kind of gets he's got a vision.
How did we, and that was all because
Where did he come from? Who is this man?
He's an international man of mystery.
Is there really a Chef X?
Is there really?
I don't know.
I believe there's a cast of X's.
What do we know about Eric?
I don't know.
There's Jeff in Minnesota. There's Eric X who's in South Carolina.
They emerge.
Who are these people?
They bid on things and then they're part of the program.
And then, the Addies are in Texas.
Oh, Lydia and Bill.
Honestly, over the years, we meet such interesting, nice people.
Well, go further west. Don't forget about Bonnie.
Well, yeah, Bonnie, Bonnie, I'm
what?
not sure.
No,
we've had some exchanges recently.
What's going on with Bonnie?
Okay, do you want the whole story or not?
There's a story?
There is a story.
I'm settling in.
All right.
Wow.
So
When you hesitate, it makes me really nervous.
You know what a big deal it was for me to speak at the Reagan Library, right? September 27.
The biggest deal.
And when I stood up in front of that crowd, I'd been ensconced, sheltered in a green room before I came out, and there were 500 people there. It was a packed house. It was one of the greatest speaking nights of my life. So I had no opportunity to interact with anyone. I took for granted, I can now tell the story. I took for granted that Bonnie was in the house. And I gave her a shout out. If you watch on the YouTube channel my speech at the Reagan Library, I give a shout out to Maureen Faulkner, who was there, my old friend, co-author. She's the widow of Danny Faulkner, and I've supported her for years. I was so proud to have Maureen and her husband Paul in the house. And I saw Maureen because she was in the front row, TC. I took for granted that Bonnie was there, so I gave her a shout out.
And when you gave her a shout out, did you know she wasn't there because she would have stood up and everybody would have cheered?
I've not revealed that she wasn't there.
Wait, was she there?
She was not there.
Okay,
I'm revealing it now.
Okay, and so you're hurt that she wasn't there? Is this
yes?
Okay, Michael.
So thereafter,
people have lives.
So
Come on.
So
That's not
thereafter,
fair.
I texted her, and I didn't say like, "Hey, were you there?" I just said, make sure you watch the speech, and then she, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch the speech. I'm like, oh okay, and then nothing, and then I hear again from Bonnie. I'm too wrapped up with our listeners, and then I hear from, hey, what'd you think of the speech? Oh, I haven't watched it yet, and all of a sudden it hit me like, she wasn't there, and she doesn't know I gave her the shout out, and then last week she watched the speech.
Last week meaning
last
like
week,
March?
Like 5 months later. Yeah.
Okay.
Finn is now in the 87th percentile. He's like almost about to drive a car. He was born the day after the speech at the Reagan Library. That's how long it took Bonnie to watch the speech.
Okay. Can I just say what the attitude that you should be taking is like, this is extending the celebration. This is like, no worries. Come on, this is a good thing. No worries.
Well, she finally watched the speech.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay. Are we all right with Bonnie then?
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Can I give you some more social media?
Please.
Speaking of the branding of Smerconish and the purple, which we love, please open Visual Aid 7B and say hello to Nicole, who says she's representing the independent mind in Costa Rica.
Oh, I love it.
Isn't that the greatest picture ever?
Yeah.
Smerconish.com t-shirts making their way around the world.
Love it. We're not selling t-shirts, and PJ, who runs Creative Outfit, responsible for the great production values of our YouTube, he wanted to do merch.
Because he's a smart guy.
I know, but I said I promised the audience at the end of 2021 that enough. They don't want me hawking things every day. I get it, but the T-shirts were so great, and as you know from Instagram this week, TC, I was wearing my Smerconish.com independent thinking T-shirt while taking a Peloton class with Leanne Hainsby, and she was rocking purple, not my shirt, but a purple Peloton shirt.
She's amazing.
So I put on Instagram a split screen of Leanne wearing hers, me wearing mine. I just thought it was like really funny stuff.
Well, people had good comments, including Michael, who wrote, TC's going to have a field day with this.
I just thought it was pretty neat.
Mona said, did y'all coordinate? Because I did not get the memo.
Definitely not.
Wyoming 1993 says, that must be the Peloton girl. Name for the show, Stuck in the Middle. Again and again and again. So I love that picture. First of all, I love Leanne Hainsby.
Me too.
So I think that's fantastic.
Done and dusted,
done.
baby.
You got to say done. Done and dusted. The best. Thank you to Andrew, who got into a fight with someone on Twitter who was saying that they don't listen to you. And Andrew says, you should start listening to and following Smerconish. He fills the media void for the unrepresented majority of people who take on each issue independently.
Thank you, Andrew. And please also make sure that you tell whomever you are promoting the program to register, subscribe to the daily newsletter. TC, yesterday, I know there's only one podcast around here, and it is TC After Dark.
What?
But yesterday, I appeared on Michael Cohen's podcast.
Mea culpa?
mea culpa, or as I call it, quid pro quo, because he was on the program earlier this week and he flat out said to me, you have to do my podcast. And I said, again, I was already on your podcast.
Did he really say it that way, or did he ask you to be on the podcast?
Through intermediaries, he did. Through intermediaries, he did. So I said, are we recording this audio? It was via Zoom.
Okay.
And I said, I thought we were recording only audio. They said, we are only audio. So I said, okay. So I smoked a cigar. It was an hour-long interview.
Wait a minute.
And I smoked a cigar.
You would know if they were recording, because you would have to give permission if they were recording Zoom.
I gave permission because they said they were using the audio. And as I'm smoking my cigar for an hour, responding to his questions, and it was very, very, it was very funny. It was very funny. It was very unique. Then they tell me, well, we're going to take some promo shots of the video. We're just going to use the video for promo shots.
Oh my gosh, it's going to have a big...
Oh, it was... yeah. So who knows? But he revealed himself to be a subscriber of the daily newsletter. We are about to hit 70,000.
That's awesome.
I think 100,000 is doable. I think 100,000 is doable.
I remember when you said respectability starts at 25.
I know. TC,
just to be clear,
I would be so...
You were happy with 10.
If we hit 100, I don't know if it's doable.
It's totally doable.
Wait, this is not like shtick where there's a tote board and I'm artificially driving it when I secretly know that we're on track. It's none of that. It's just me thinking, you know what, 100,000 is doable. And wouldn't that be unbelievable? Frankly, 70,000 is unbelievable. Lincoln Financial Field for an Eagles game. That's how many people are getting the daily newsletter. And I'm just thrilled about it. It takes so much time and attention.
I know that.
James is doing a great job. I'm responsible for the content, except he does the exclusive content. And then he's responsible for the production values, the appearance, the art, the headlines, the summary. It's a really good combo. Subscribe, register. Subscribe seems to imply you have to pay, and you don't.
No, sign up. It's free.
Sign up.
All you have to do is put your email on there. Simple.
Right. Yeah.
Jenna speaks for many every week. Please tell us why you say Tesla versus Tesla. It makes me grind my teeth every time I hear you say it with a Z.
Okay.
And then she writes, thanks, Smerconish.
So I say it deliberately because I have listened to Elon Musk twice on Joe Rogan podcasts, and that's the way he says it. So I thought if he says it that way, then although my Aunt Bess, Nikola Tesla. If you watched on Instagram when I was with my 97-year-old aunt, not grandmother, aunt. It would make more sense if I said grandmother.
Right.
And I drove her in my Tesla, and it was the funniest damn thing in the world because she, had her own story about who he was and how his designs were ripped off. And then I went back and looked it up, and she was right.
Ellen says, Michael, please stop saying the new electric F-150 will change minds. Until people can tow further than 100 miles, this will not sway those farmers in middle America you speak of.
I don't believe that. First of all, is there such a limitation of not being able to tow? I just think that the F-150 being electric puts electric vehicles in a whole new realm. Hey, I told you yesterday, and I speak from personal experience. I won't tell you why because it would bore you. There is such a demand right now, not only for used vehicles, but for electric vehicles. I mean, if you have one and you want to sell, if you have a used car you want to sell, like now's the time.
It's
now
crazy.
Is definitely the time. It is crazy. Yeah, it really is.
We had a guest this week talking about nothing is an accident. Jessie Singer came on the program. She had a book. Why are you nodding?
Wasn't that unusual?
And my God. You can't imagine the attention it got.
TC, so let's tell everybody. I told you, hey, I don't know. Let me back up. I get 3 hours a day. And the 3 hours a day may seem seat of the pants, but it's not. There's a tremendous amount of time that goes into not only what I'm going to discuss, but the order in which I will present things here. And in the midst of all of this worthy conversation about Ukraine, we took a bit of a departure, a detour. I had read a column in the LA Times by Robin Abkarian, one of their columnists, that turned me on. I always like to give credit, like where do I find these things? That turned me on to a book, Nothing is an Accident. I read the book and I thought this is really interesting and different. So we planned it, and then Ukraine hits the fan, and it's like, well, am I still going to talk about something so offbeat? We had a conversation, and I decided I would do the interview. And I was so glad that I do, because I think everybody needs a break every once in a while from all of the war talk, and people seem to respond to it. And then Brad Meltzer on yesterday, there were two really good author interviews here this week, and both end up in my book club podcast. Brad Meltzer talking about fiction, the valet story. I think
by the way, my car has a valet button. I had no idea. I saw it on there yesterday.
I do too. I don't know how mine works.
I don't either. I didn't want to push it because I thought maybe I would have to go 25 miles an hour home. I wouldn't be allowed to go home.
I think we probably sold a lot of Brad Meltzer books here yesterday.
I can't wait to read that.
Because of sharing the opening chapter where someone gives their key to a valet and the valet drives to their house and robs them. Well, something else happens along the way, but.
Okay, before we go, I just want to get to a couple from About Nothing is an Accident.
Tell me.
One of our favorite Twitter followers, Rigatoni, says, your conversation today with Jesse Singer regarding accidents struck a chord with me. I was a UPS driver for over 21 years.
Wow.
This is your visual aid, your next visual aid.
Oh.
To the company, all accidents are avoidable. Here is the 10-point commentary with space and visibility guides. Basically, they're saying, like when you go to a stop sign, it's a full stop. You look to the left, you look to the right, you look to the left again. There are space and visibility guidelines by the inch for UPS drivers. So the next time you see a UPS driver, know that guidelines from Rigatoni is what they're looking at. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, I think this is like worthy stuff for all of us, and especially for new drivers, just in terms of tips.
I mean, they're talking about how far you should be from the car in front of you, how often you should look at your mirrors, how often you should look, where your eyes should be. I just thought it was fascinating because of the granular detail that went into it. And
here are the
can
rules.
You avoid accidents by doing this?
Interesting. Rules for backing. 1, if you must back,
don't.
Back first and to the driver's side. Back only when necessary. I guess a lot of accidents happen when UPS trucks back up. Before and during backing, scan the areas your vehicle will be approaching. Tap your horn continuously to signal your intentions. Use the rear view mirror as a third mirror. Interesting. UPS driving tips. Maybe I'll give this to our kids.
And finally, before we go, bumper music. Paul, a few weeks ago, I was getting a mono auto feed from Michael's streaming from the app. Clips and other app audios were stereo. Chaz Maz, R.E. shook me all night long. I played the guitar, and I was sitting here that day thinking Smerconish was picking up some nuances that I was missing, and there's something wrong with me. T. Brady, I didn't know what horn you were talking about until I realized I was listening to the show only with my left earbud in. Had to rewind to see what you were talking about, and there it was in my right ear. So funny.
Okay. So this is.
But you should feel good about it because people get it. They get it.
This is a nice and uplifting issue on which to end a good week of broadcasting, and hope that you'll watch on CNN tomorrow morning. So I've not yet hit send on the email key to Dan. Okay. For the benefit of those who will watch me on YouTube, I'm showing my laptop, TC. You're not even looking.
Well, be careful.
So this is an email to Dan that is incomplete, but I'm going to flesh it out even more. But just to give you a feel for how into this I am, here's the delete list.
Oh, no.
AC/DC Runaway Train, Aerosmith Love in an Elevator, The Beatles Hey Jude, The Beatles Sgt. Pepper's, Billy Joel We Didn't Start the Fire, Cheap Trick I Want You. I want you to want me. I want you to. I have to think about that for a moment. I'll come back to it. The Eagles Already Gone, The Eagles Peaceful, Easy Feeling, Genesis That's All, Kansas Dust in the Wind, Michael Jackson Black or White, Peter Frampton Show Me the Way. All out.
Oh no.
I'm embarrassed and confused about something. I want you to want me. I want you. Okay, no. I'm good. I'm good.
Need you to need me.
Out. In Cheap Trick Surrender. In David Bowie Heroes. In Bob Seger Her Strut. In Eagles Hotel California and Lion Eyes, in. Fleetwood Mac, Don't Stop, Foo Fighters, Hero, Foo Fighters, Best of You, both in. Kansas, Carry On Wayward Son, in. Led Zeppelin, Dancin' Days, in. Meek Mill, Other Side of America, in. Peter Frampton, Do You Feel Like We Do? Because I love the guitar chord that starts it. Peter Frampton, Waiting for Your Love. Peter Frampton, Hour of Need.
All right, let's
Peter
go.
Frampton, I'm Back. And Van Halen, Beautiful Girls, in. So I'm working on it. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Listen to TC After Dark wherever you get your podcasts. I will see you on CNN tomorrow.